Hello guys, and welcome for another breakdown video. For this week we're going to talk about pacing and why it's such an important factor for effective workouts. So let's jump into this video. So what we want with this movement is a violent hip extension accompanied by a upward pull. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the threshold. And what you need to understand is that everybody's body has a different threshold. So the threshold is the point on which the body switches from a aerobic metabolism to a anaerobic metabolism. It's basically just the point on which you're not able to maintain that speed and you will decrease and eventually die. You've probably felt this before in a workout on which you would begin with a really high speed and then slowly go down and trying to hold on to that speed, but you know that you're not able to do it. So there was a certain point which you went over and then went back to and lowered. So that's the threshold. So let's say this line represents the threshold. You started the workout, you went up, high in speed, and then you went underneath and tried to hold on to the pace, but you were not able to do that and you failed. So what you can see in this example is the time spent over here during the workout. So let's say it's a workout of 10 minutes. We would have spent, let's say, 1 or 2 minutes above threshold. So this time was above threshold, so above our maximum speed for that specific workout / modality. And the rest of the time was underneath, and this piece was really low beneath threshold. That means that this piece of the workout was the least effective. We were the furthest away from threshold during this point in time, which is not a good thing. Why is that? Because we want to get the threshold, so this line, we want to increase that line. And how do we do that? To spend as much time with that threshold as possible. So in order to increase this line, we need to spend as much time as possible with the threshold. So what you can see from this example is my speed is not close to my actual threshold. So a much smarter option would be that if this is my threshold for this specific workout, I would start up, maybe go a little bit over my threshold, noticing this in my body, then slowly going back down again a little bit underneath threshold, then noticing that you can go a little bit faster. So we go a little bit up again and stay as close to the threshold, up, over, under, like this for the rest of the workout. As you can see, the speed is higher for this specific workout, but also I'm a lot closer to my threshold, which means that I spend more time with it, which it will eventually mean that I will get better at it and it will increase. So it's basically the same with squats. If we would do squats and my 1 rep max is 140 kilos, it's not a smart option to always do 1 rep of 140 kilos and then the rest of my squat workout I will only do 50, 60 or 70 kilos. It's a much smarter option to change the weights a little bit and go to 130, 135, 137, 134. So stay around the maximum, but don't always go on the maximum. So again, we're gonna compare these two. So this is the pace. This is athlete A, this is athlete B. Athlete A starts, he goes over the threshold a lot, and he notices this, he goes down again because he dies and tries to hold on to the pace which he is not able to maintain, and he goes down again. Athlete B starts the workout, closer to threshold, maybe a little bit over, under, maintains the speed, and eventually is done with the workout. Again, as you can see, this time spent over threshold is way less than this time spent very close to threshold. You can see over here that athlete A is much further away from the threshold, meaning that his workout is less effective. So every individual has a different threshold for different modalities. One individual is able to row 1,000 meters within 3 minutes, and another person is not able to do that. That means that they both have different thresholds. So that means that if athlete A would be able to row 1,000 meters within 3 minutes, and athlete B is able to row 1,000 meters within 4 minutes, that means that the pace will also be different in specific rowing workouts. If athlete B tries to hold on to the pace of athlete A, you will get the same example as I just showed you. He will go over because he would be able to maintain that pace for a few seconds, but then he will be way over his or her threshold and go back down again, which is the natural response of the body. When an individual goes over threshold and stays there for too long, he will eventually go back down underneath and be far away from the actual threshold. As every exercise has a different threshold in CrossFit, every time domain also has a different threshold inside of CrossFit. You could see this when we compare a workout of 20 minutes to a workout of 60 minutes. The workout of 20 minutes will be a little bit quicker in pace compared to the workout of 60 minutes, which will be, if you pace it right, a slower pace. So things like the individual, the exercise, the stress levels of the individual, the time domain, and more dictate the threshold of a specific workout or exercise on that given day. This is really difficult to know. Usually individuals use a heart rate monitor for this, but that's only with sports like biking or running, which is one modality and has a cyclical nature. You have a lot of variety in exercises, you have a lot of different movements. We go from one to another, which all really impact the threshold of that person. So using a heart rate monitor to determine your pace can help a little bit, but it's not optimal. So now we have a workout of 12 minutes and we maintain our highest speed throughout that workout, and we consider that being our threshold. Is it a smart option to train that threshold for 12 minutes every day? I would consider not. Is it a smart option to train your maximum speed for a marathon every day? I don't think it's also smart. What you will see with marathons is that it's beneficial if we train at the speed of the marathon, but now we decrease the time a little bit. So we train the body how to use the energy at a specific speed that is equal to the speed that we use on the full marathon or on the full amrap of 12 minutes. So what would be a smart option for the 12-minute amrap? Just do a amrap of 6 minutes on the speed of the 12 minutes. Maybe slowly we go from 6 minutes to 8 to 9 to 10, and eventually we would want to retest the 12 minutes. We would do the 12 minutes again. But if we go into intensities, it would not be a smart option to do the 12 minutes over and over again. We talked about this in the video a few weeks ago. So during a workout in which we want to hold on to for longer periods of times, we need to look for our threshold. We need to stay as close to the threshold as possible if we would want it to increase over time. Fail to adhere to this, you will see that you go over threshold, and that with every workout you will be really low. Your output is low and the potential adaptations will be lower, and you will teach yourself to dive through every workout and to use energy that is not sustainable for a specific workout or a specific modality. So the key takeaway from this video is try to understand your specific threshold a little bit more. Make sure that you are able to analyze where this sits for you as an individual. So not looking at your gym body, but only looking at yourself, and then determining the optimal speed for that specific modality or that specific workout. So guys, that's it for this week's breakdown video. I hope you liked it, I hope you learned something from it. So please let us know in the comments what you want to see in one of the next breakdown videos, and we'll be sure to make it. I hope to see you next time with another breakdown video.